This is a new Princess V58 Open. It was launched at the Southampton Boat Show. Now the previous V58 was a really successful boat for Princess and very popular, so they're going to be wanting to have more of the same with this boat. It will be available as a Deck Saloon version as well, but this is the open version, which means traditional sports cruiser layout, open back, huge sunroof as well, all about life on deck on days like this. Let's take a bit of a closer look. So the deck configuration on the V58 Open means that you have a tender garage, which is large enough for a Williams 325, and also means that your bathing platform is completely clear. Obviously it's high-low, so it goes down into the water. And you also have a crew cabin just down here to starboard, which is an option. It's storage if you don't have that spec. But the best part of the V58 Open is the main part of the cockpit, so let's go and have a look. Now the Deck Saloon version of this boat may be the more versatile year-round option, but on a hot day this open cockpit is unbeatable. It's totally flat all the way up to the companionway, no steps to negotiate, and there's some nice touches that Princess has included to make life easier up here. So you have an electronic awning which comes out over the sunpad, can completely cover it if you want to. There's also a television up here which is weatherproof, so you don't have to worry about it getting sprayed or anything like that, but it does mean that you can sit and socialise up here and you don't have to go downstairs to watch TV. This teak table is also adjustable electronically. That makes life easy. And just look at the amount of seating here. How many people could you have sat in comfort for a barbecue or something like that? It's a proper party platform. And then as you come further forward, you have this neat L-shaped arrangement here. It's raised pretty much the same height as the helm, so that people can sit and join those in the helm seats when the boat's moving along. And you also do have a chaise longue section to make the most of this amazing sunroof too. Despite this being such a cockpit-centric boat, the saloon area is actually pretty good. I mean, bearing in mind you're only really going to use this in the evening or if the weather's really bad. You've got a good sized galley. This return means that it can be used as a little bit of a breakfast bar as well. They have managed to fit a full-size fridge and freezer down here, which is really good to see. Obviously the dinette is pretty compact but serves a purpose for when you're stuck down here. And then accommodation wise, you have 3 cabins. There's a VIP in the bow which has scissor action berth, so you can quickly split them into twins, which is ensuite to a bathroom here. Then there is another guest cabin, which is a bunk cabin, slightly compromised. It's a little bit compact and the bunks are quite close to each other, but it's perfect for kids and a nice option to have it. But the star of the show, of course, is the master cabin, which we're going to have a look at now. You can tell by our proximity to the waterline, thanks to these huge windows, just how low this cabin is in the boat, and because of that the headroom is really good, especially at the end of the bed here. Loads of room above my head here, and even though you step up around this side of the bed, they've compensated for that in the ceiling, so on this side at least you can walk right down the side of the bed or to this little settee here. The other side of the bed doesn't fare quite so well. You do have to step up and then step up again, so by the time you're around this side it's a little bit cramped. But it's not too bad, and storage in this cabin is good. There's drawers under the bed, there's the row of little cupboards there, there's a big hanging locker which leaves your ensuite bathroom, which is just here. This being a traditional open-backed sports cruiser, the driving experience is quite a bit more visceral than it would be on a Deck Saloon type sports cruiser, because you can hear the engines back there, you're going to hear the sound of the water rushing by, you feel far more in touch with the elements. I mean, those noises aren't intrusive, but you know, you feel like you're out on a boat, as you should do, which is something I personally quite like. Now this boat you can have with Volvo's D13 engines tuned to either 800 or 900 horsepower. This boat has the 900 horsepower versions and they are perfectly suited to the V58. We managed 37 knots today in our speed runs, more than enough for a boat of this size. But there's a real sweet spot at about 2000 RPM. We're travelling now 2000 RPM. She likes a little bit of tab just to keep the bow down, improves the view, means the sharpest part of the hull is cutting through the water, and we're doing 28 knots, and that feels like a really nice place for this boat to be cruising at. Now of course this wouldn't be a Princess V boat without her being good fun to drive, and the steering, you know, it's exactly what we expect, beautifully light, she turns very keenly, just a very, very easy boat to thread around. And she's been superb today actually. It's quite choppy a bit further out here off Plymouth, She handled it very nicely indeed. And the driving position is superb. I really like it. Nice and close to the helm, throttle and wheel close together. The view out is excellent. I mean, look at the size of these windows, and they move up and down as well. You've got them both sides, so you can very easily ventilate this area if you don't want to open the roof, which is absolutely enormous. And the panes of glass, they just transform the entire area. There's so much light coming in, even when the roof's closed, which is really nice. One thing I failed to mention at this point is just how good the V58 Open looks in the flesh. It's really sleek. The new knife window line that Princess has brought in looks fantastic, and out on the water it does look sensational, and of course it has the performance and handling to match, and it's a real victory for the traditional open sports cruiser. They're a bit of a rare breed, but on the right day in the right weather, totally unbeatable.